Welcome back to the Bay Area's go-to real estate channel. My name is Derek Langfield, and today we are going to be talking about the worst cities to live in the Bay Area according to crime data and school data. Now, before we get into it, if you get value out of this, please like and subscribe to the channel. And as always, you know how to reach me. My contact information is below. I also have buyers guides, sellers guides, community guides. Let me know what it is that you want. Comment below or reach out to me directly and I'll get that to you. Now, before we get into some of the data, please note that crime happens everywhere. I have also put clients in every single one of these cities, and knock on wood, nobody has reported any problems. But again, this is just according to data. This list is in no particular order. We're just going to name 5 cities according to crime data that is some of the worst cities you can live in the Bay Area. Again, I put clients in all these cities. Nobody's had any issues or at least reported them to me. I've been all over the Bay Area. I can advise you further on what to look for, things that are good, bad, and ugly. If you want to talk about it, reach out to me. But without further ado, let's get into it. Number 1 on the list, Antioch. Antioch, California is the 3rd largest city in Contra Costa. It's out past Walnut Creek, neighboring Concord. It gets very, very, very hot, and it ranks as one of the most dangerous cities in California. Antioch ranks 678 per 100,000 for total crime report, with 49 rapes, 8 homicides, and 261 robberies. In comparison to Pittsburgh, which is the number 2 city on the list, which borders Antioch. Antioch and Pittsburgh are right next to each other. Again, I've put clients in both neighborhoods. Real estate prices have actually gone up. There's certain areas you want to avoid in both Antioch and Pittsburgh, but they are growing, transitioning neighborhoods. And again, there are some good parts. Keep that in mind when looking at this data. Pittsburgh reported total crime volume of 393 per 100,000 people, with 10 homicides and 162 reported robberies. Now, next on the list is Richmond, California. Now, Richmond as a whole has seen drops in crime. It was once the murder capital of the United States. Now, Richmond has gotten a lot better, and there are some beautiful spots in Richmond. And again, people do enjoy Richmond, but again, it is still also a violent place to live in comparison to other parts of California, the Bay Area, and the United States. On average, Richmond reports about 18 homicides per year, with an average violent crime rate of 716 violent crimes per year. Richmond reports a total crime volume at 921 per 100,000. Generally, northeastern Richmond is the safest part. Also, people love the part of Richmond where you can hang out by the water. And central Richmond, known as the Iron Triangle, is the most dangerous part of Richmond. And it has been for many, many, many years. We have 2 more cities left to go. The last one may definitely surprise you, as you don't hear a lot about it, but that's why it's important to always stay to the end of the videos. Next up on the list is Vallejo, California. Vallejo reports a total crime volume of 966 per 100,000 people. It's also 266% higher than the national average. Vallejo is known to be home of one of the best theme parks in the Bay Area, as some of us old timers call it Six Flags or Marine World. However, you statistically have a 1 in 100 chance of being a victim of crime in Vallejo. Vallejo has struggled with crime for many, many years, but also during the pandemic, again, it went through a bit of a transition where a lot of people moved out of the central Bay Area, such as San Francisco, Oakland, Hayward, San Leandro, and moved to places like Vallejo because it was a little bit further away. You can get a lot more bang for your buck in terms of house. So real estate also went up in Vallejo drastically. Now, last on the list, again, keep in mind this isn't in any particular order. Some of the data is what I found based off a couple years old, so take it with a grain of salt. Usually crime kind of tends evenly or decreases or increases a little bit, so it's all around the same bubble in terms of some of the worst or most dangerous cities that you can live in the Bay Area. And this is why the next city is on the list, because you don't hear about it, but due to its small size, the reported crime is actually through the roof, and that is Emeryville. California. Emeryville is a stone's throw away from San Francisco. It borders Oakland, and it's home to almost everybody's favorite store, IKEA. However, crime reported per 100,000 is actually through the roof at over 2,300 per 100,000 people. And the reason being is because there's just under 13,000 people in all of Emeryville. So with the smaller population, crime is actually through the roof because of its small population. The chances of being a victim of crime in Emeryville is 1 in 43. Again, that number is skewed a little bit because the population is so small. It's not as big as Antioch or Richmond or Vallejo. So again, you gotta kind of read through these numbers. And also, as said in the beginning of the video, I have clients in every single one of these cities that we talked about. And knock on wood, none of them have had issues. There are areas you want to stay away from. There are good areas, there are bad areas. They're still popular cities, they're well-known cities. You are going to have, there's going to be trouble and crime reports in every city in the United States. Emeryville in 2022 reported a surge in violent crime, up over 300, and property theft and robberies. So unfortunately, Emeryville made the list. But Emeryville is also known to some nice restaurants, nightlife, shopping, and because of its proximity to other cities in the Bay Area, it's still very, very highly sought after. Thus, the real estate prices are through the roof. That's it for today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. As always, if you got value out of this, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel. If you have questions for me, you want a buyer's guide, seller's guide, community guide, my contact information is down below. Reach out to me. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Talk soon.